Hey everyone, welcome back into FS25. This is episode 8 in Frankenmuth. As you can see, we have a new tractor. The 9RX is gone, and I replaced it with the 9R wheeled machine, and it's got every weight I could possibly put on it, because this manure spreader is almost impossible to tow. The 9RX barely turned going forward, and absolutely would not turn going backwards. It just jam up and wouldn't work. I don't know if it's like a performance issue due to the game or if it was actually just too light, but I switched it out with the 9R. Took about a $50,000 hit doing it, so that sucked. But the 9R is working much, much better. It's still an absolute bear cat to get this thing moving around the field. Doing end rows is kind of a nightmare. It might be something that I just do the dry fertilizer around the outside and only do straight runs with the manure spreader or with this slurry spreader because of how bad it is to try and turn. But we also have our 8R hooked up to our lime spreader because we have one field that needs lime. So if we go over here to our soil composition, you can see up here, field number 1 is in need of some lime. Everything else is good. Our grass is fully fertilized. Field 26 was fully fertilized. I didn't do that. And our grass is fertilized because I did run the manure spreader on it, or the slurry spreader, I should say. And that's how I found out the 9R was not the tractor for the manure spreader. But we're going to go ahead and jump in the 8R first and get field number 1 spread with lime here. And then I think I'm just going to hire this up on a worker, and we'll run the manure spreader over to one of these fields and get it going as well. All right, and I guess I forgot to mention that I do already have all my fields combined. I did that last month, and yeah, I'm going to run a couple of passes here, and I'm hoping when I hire the worker, it'll use this as an end row. I should have spread the lime before I combined the fields. I didn't even think about the fact that this needed lime. So we're going to run a couple passes on this end, and then I'll hire up a worker and see what happens here. All right, well, our worker seemed to have started where I made it, the old end rows here. So that seems to be working. So he's going to do all the up downs first, and then he'll do the headlands second. So while he's running this, I will jump in that manure spreader, and we can get that thing loaded and start spreading some slurry. I keep saying manure. I need to say slurry. It's a slurry spreader. All right, well, it had 18,000 liters still in it, so we're just going to go ahead and run what's on here off. I'm going to run the end rows with it, and when we get down here to turn, you'll see kind of some of the struggles with this one. It's massive, covers a whole lot of ground, but it's definitely not meant for anywhere that's tight getting in and out of. And you can see I don't know what's going on, but it just doesn't turn. Now, I get that I was stuck on a tree there, but drop it down. Now, with the 9RX, trying to back up and reline at anywhere that was squared off was almost impossible. But we'll run these end rows here, and then we'll run over and refill it. And I desperately need a slurry tanker. That way I'm not having to drive this thing back and forth over to the hog site. But with us losing that 50 grand, it's going to be a tight spring here. Even just trying to get the pigs fed, let alone trying to buy a slurry tanker. So this will be a prime example. You get kind of turned, and it just, my goodness, what a struggle. Now with the 9RX, it wouldn't have turned. So I don't know what the deal was with that, but yeah, it never would have made that turn. You had to have it perfectly straight, and you could only back up straight. So I don't know if that's like a glitch in the game because of the tracks, and it's not doing it on wheeled machines, or what. But that was a disaster. All right, well, I wasn't sure if this would work or not, but the Oxbow will unload onto the other manure spreader. So for now, since we don't have a trailer, I'm just going to run this Oxbow back and forth because it goes the same speed as the tractor does, but it definitely maneuvers a lot better. So we're, I almost thought that having the wider, bigger slurry spreader would be better. I'm not so sure now, to be completely honest. It might not be the right decision. Just having the Oxbow might be what's actually best. So for now, we'll just keep running this through this field. I'll see how I get along. If I'm having just insane issues, then I think we might just go ahead and get rid of it and run the Oxbow instead. All right, well, the AI worker for the slurry is doing just fine. However, the AI worker putting lime on did okay for a while, but for some reason didn't do this entire section and wouldn't do the end rows, and it's been kind of a disaster here. So I'm finishing up this field. As you can see, they just stopped. They didn't do this back section of the field whatsoever. So I'm going to do the rest of this lime spreading. I think my AI worker putting the slurry on has enough to finish. At least that's what I'm hoping. We'll find out when I get done spreading this lime, but I'm going to go ahead and finish this lime. It shouldn't take too long, and then I didn't realize that both our grass and alfalfa are ready. So we're going to go ahead and mow our grass and turn that into hay. And then all of our alfalfa is going to be turned into silage. So we'll have, I don't know, give or take 150-ish bales. I think is what that field produces off of the alfalfa for silage that we can sell. Which we're definitely going to need because that $50,000 hit I took having to switch out the four-wheel drive tractors has made it very difficult to pay for hog food. So that is the plan moving forward. I'll hammer this out, and I'll see you guys when I get this lime done. Alright, our lime is done. So we can take this back to the home place, get this lime spreader put away. That is all the lime we have to do this year. And check on our slurry spreader. I think he's done. The field looks pretty evenly covered here. So we'll double check that, and then we can get our mower going to get all of this grass and alfalfa mowed here. All right, well, this field is fully fertilized. I've got our mower, you can barely see him in the background there, started up on our grass field here. So we've got one field left that we need to fertilize. So we will head up, get this thing going. He's only got 10,000 liters on, so he won't make it very far, but we'll go ahead and get him started. I've already got the Oxbow back at the hog site so that it can be reloaded. And I'll continue transferring the slurry from the hog site up to here and keep this guy going. So this is actually working out pretty well. I'm not too disappointed in how this system is working out. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing unfolded. Get him somewhat lined up here. Figure out our steering assist. That should work just fine. Fire him up and let him go. So the slurry seemed to work out great. I don't know what the problem was with the lime spreader. It was not working out great, but no big deal. We'll get this field fertilized. We'll get the grass mowed and Then we need to ted the grass and get it baled up into hay and start into the alfalfa. All right, our grass field is done being mowed. I got the 6R up here and it's being tedded. So we'll get this guy fired up in the alfalfa field, get him mowing. And when he's done, or when the 6R is done, whichever one gets done first, we'll hook up the windrower and get to windrowing. This field does not need to be tedded because it's not going to be hay. It's only going to be turned into silage. Alright, we're finishing up our last little bit here. I ended up having to take over for the worker because they just kept going down between the power poles. I have no idea why. They didn't miss anything down there, but they kept working their way down there instead of working up the field. So, whatever it was, it's ridiculous. I really wish they could get these workers fixed, but for now, we're done. We will have to put some slurry down on our grass field, but that needs to be baled and all that stuff first. So we'll just take this back to the home place and check on our grass workers. Hopefully they're doing okay. I did have to restart the mower once because he drove into the ditch. I'm not sure what's up with that. I've had problems with the windrower doing it, but not the mower. So that's new. But hopefully everything's going well. The tedder should be getting close to being done. And then we should be able to start windrowing shortly. Alright, well, while I was up here, I realized I hadn't checked our goats yet this month. So I put 4,000 liters of milk into our dairy here. And you can see we've got 1,154 liters of bottled goat milk, and we've got 3,800 liters of goat milk in here. And I also am going to go ahead and sell our 25 oldest goats because the first goats that they had, the first baby goats that we got from them are now old enough to reproduce next month. So we're going to go ahead and sell off those goats, and that'll give us $25,000 this month. And I'm just going to go ahead and sell them directly from here. I'm not going to worry about getting the truck out. So they are 40 months old. They're worth $1,000. And we'll go ahead and sell them. So that's $23,000 with the delivery fee. I'll take it. It saves me from having to get my semi out. So there we go. And we will have 25 more baby goats next month. So I will finish getting stuff dragged back to the home place here and get back to working on our grass and alfalfa. Alright, well, we have our grass field all raked up. And now we're going to head up to our alfalfa field. Our mower's just about done or just finished, one of the two, with the alfalfa. So we'll go ahead and get that all windrowed up here, and then we can get to baling afterwards. Yeah, it looks like the mower's just finishing up his last couple of passes there. So we'll get this thing fired up and get all of this raking done. There's still quite a bit of raking to do, and we're going to make, it should be 208 bales is what it seems to always come out to be, so not too shabby there. Alright, so we'll drop it down. Lock it on. This will be a nice crooked... Oh, what am I doing? Going the wrong way. Go figure. So, let's try this again. Alright, well, we have our grass field all raked up. Our mower is just finishing his last pass in this alfalfa field. So we're going to go ahead, get this all raked up, and then we can get to baling. So we'll have 208 bales is what it's been the first two times we've mowed this stuff. But it'll be a little bit less because we're doing hay. And hay bales hold more liters, so probably 198 199 bales, somewhere in that area is what we're going to end up baling. But we've got quite a bit of raking to do before we can get to that point. So I'll rake this out, and then we can grab the baler and get to baling. All right, so we have all of our bales taken care of. See, I've got my first trailer load of hay bales. We ended up making 49 hay bales and 130 silage bales. So we will get all of these picked up, get them taken up to our storage here, and then we need to spread dry on the fertilizer on the grass field, and that'll be it for the month of March. All right, so we have all of our bales picked up, and you can see we have 59 hay bales in here and 130 silage bales in here. So that's pretty good start for our first cutting of the year. However, I don't think we're going to do any more silage bales this year because that alfalfa field will be planted into soybeans this year. So we're only going to have the grass field. So I don't know if we'll split it maybe because we'll have at least 2 more cuttings, maybe 3 yet this year. So we might split it up into doing, a couple of hay and 1 of silage or something like that. But for now, that is all taken care of. So we'll head back to the home place and we can get our fertilizer spread on the grass field. All right. We got our fertilizer spreader hooked up here to the 6R. So we'll get this field hammered out. Won't take very long at all. And I just realized, my goodness, we're up to 33.8 hours on this tractor already. That's crazy. I genuinely don't know if I've ever put that many hours on a tractor before. I usually don't keep them that long, so this is honestly impressive for me. So we'll hammer this out, and I got to admit, this 6R is just kind of the workhorse of the farm. It does just about everything. It's definitely an impressive little tractor, no doubt about it. All right, our grass field is officially fertilized, and that is it for our field work for the month of March. So I will see you guys in April when it is time to plant. Hey everyone, welcome into April. It is now time to get all of our fields planted. So we are starting out down here at the home place. We're on the south side of the driveway, and we're putting soybeans in this field. We will also be putting soybeans in the field on the north side of the driveway here. And then up north by our goat barn, that will be corn this year. So we've got quite a few fields to get planted here, and we also have to get all of them sprayed. So that is going to take quite a few sprayer loads as well. So we've got a bunch of work we need to get done here in the month of April, and I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to get all of these fields planted, see how much seed it's going to take. The soybeans take significantly more seed than what corn does. So I don't think this planter will be able to do all of the fields in one fill up. I'm pretty sure we will have to reload it at some point here. But right now we're hammering out the end rows on our first field of the season here. And yeah, I'm very excited to see just what this farm is going to become here this year and moving forward. So we'll get this field done and we'll move on to the next one, and I'll catch up to you guys in a little bit. All right, we're finishing up this last pass here in our first soybean field, and you can tell we've already gone through 40% of our seed. So we definitely will need to refill this planter this year. And that's an added expense that I haven't really had yet. So that's exciting. That means we are growing and growing pretty fast. So we'll get up here, we'll get lined up, and we're going to start into our second soybean field. And this one is significantly bigger. So this is definitely going to take longer. I'm guessing probably an hour, maybe a little more to get all of this field planted. This is going to be a massive, massive soybean field. And I'm very, very excited to A, get it planted, and B, I cannot wait until harvest this year. This is going to be fun. We're really, really going to max out on our yield potential here and how much grain we're actually going to get off of these fields. So this is something that I am definitely excited about. So we'll get going on this field, get it hammered out, and see just how long it actually takes us to get it planted. Alright, well, we got our end rows done, and we got some of the short row stuff done, but we were unable to finish our last pass on this side of the field for our short row because we ran out of seed. So we're going through, honestly, a lot more seed than I kind of had planned on. So we refilled. This is the second full planter that we've had here, and we're going to have another one yet. I don't even know if this will be enough to finish this field, and we've got all of our corn to do. So seed price and cost is something I didn't do a good job of factoring in for this year. So I'm really glad we're selling off a load of hogs next month, because if we would be probably sunk if we couldn't sell those hogs off next month. But yeah, we're going through a bunch of seed. This took a little over 20 minutes just to do the end rows here. So this field is very big, and the more we get planted, the more excited I am about getting to harvest this year. So this is going to be very, very exciting for our beans. And this is going to take a lot of refills in the sprayer to get everything done this year. So we're going to be spending quite a bit of time in the sprayer as well here. But we'll continue on here and see just how far this fill up of seed in the planter will get us. Alright, we're finishing up this last pass here, getting our soybean field planted, and this has gone really well. Of course, the 8R and the John Deere's 1775 NT planter are just an absolute amazing combination together. So I've got a little over 1,000 liters of seed, and we're going to go ahead and jump over into our small field that we'll be planting with corn. That should be enough to get it planted, because corn doesn't use as much seed as soybeans do. And then when we get that done, we can go ahead and hammer out our big field. We can go ahead and hammer out our big cornfield, and that'll be fantastic. But this field is done, so now it just needs to be sprayed. All right, so we'll get pulled into this cornfield. We'll get the planter unfolded here, make sure that we are on corn, and let's hope we don't hit any vehicles going by, because this field is right on the edge of the road here. So we'll get lined up. There we go. All right, we'll get it fired up, drop it down, and we'll get this field planted. This won't take very long at all. It's not a very big field. And my plan is to eventually have this turned into a grass field. We're definitely going to need more grass eventually, but for now, we don't need it to be grass, so I'm just going to use it as a row crop field for this year and probably next year as well. But we'll hammer this out. This won't take very long, and then when we're done, we'll need to run back to the home place so that we can reload the planter full of seed. And I looked in the item shop, and to my surprise, there's no seed tender in the item shop. I thought there was, but I sure couldn't find one. So that's something hopefully gets put out soon. It'd be really nice to have a seed tender so we don't have to A, use pallets, or B, run all the way back to the store or your home place or wherever just to load up with seed. Alright, we're finishing up our last little bit here on this cornfield. Definitely didn't take very long, and this is kind of a nifty little field. It's got kind of an odd shape here on the one end, and I think it'll work out just fine for a grass field. So we're just about finished here, and once we finish this pass up, we will head back to the home place, refill with seed. And yeah, we only used a little over 100 liters of seed for this field, so that is not bad at all. I'm very happy with what we ended up using for seed here. And our one fill up here for this big cornfield is going to be more than enough seed to get it finished. So I'll run back to the home place here, we'll get reloaded, and head back up here to plant our last field. Alright, we are reloaded with our seed, and we are up here at our north field. So we'll get this fired up, we'll get it dropped down, and we'll get this field hammered out. And this is our last field we need to plant this spring. So once we're done here, we will switch over to our sprayer and start spraying all of our fields. So we've still got plenty of work to do here in the month of April, but it is moving rather quickly. So we've been planting for, about, I don't know, hour and a half or so far. So honestly, we're doing pretty good. This 8R and the 1775 really do cover a lot of ground very, very quickly. Alright, we are finishing up our last pass here, planting our corn, and our planting will be officially finished. So we barely used any of the seed. You know, we're down to 70% full on the planter, so we used 30% of the seed on this field, and that's really good. That's how much it took to do the end rows for the soybeans on the big field. So that's pretty impressive. But we'll go ahead, head back to the home place here, get our sprayer out, get our sprayer tender going, and then we can get all of these fields sprayed. So we've got quite a bit of work yet to do, but everything is going relatively quickly. So we should be done, probably early afternoon. All right, we got our sprayer out. Sprayer trailer's all loaded and ready to go. Sprayer's full, so we will go ahead and get this field taken care of and all the rest of our fields taken care of with our pre-emergent spraying here. So we've got quite a bit of ground to cover, but thankfully this sprayer does do the job very quickly and does a magnificent job as long as you get the width set correctly. So we'll go ahead, get this knocked out, and this field won't take very long at all. Curious to see how many loads our big fields are going to take to cover. They are significantly bigger than this first field that we're spraying here. And just like that, this field is done. So this sprayer hammers the acres out really, really fast. But we're going to head back. We're going to reload and start in this big soybean field. I want to make sure I start with a full load and see how many it takes. I'm guessing at least 2 full loads to get all of this ground covered over here. But we'll see. It might be more, might be slightly less, but that's what my guess is going to be. So we'll pull up here to our sprayer trailer and get reloaded. All right, we'll fire it up, take off, and see how far this first load gets us. But I definitely cannot overstate just how honestly important a big sprayer, big self-propelled sprayer is when you start growing as big as we're going to be, and even as big as we are now. It makes all the difference in the world being able to knock out fields really, really fast instead of taking an entire day to spray just a few acres. So this machine has already paid for itself, and it's going to continue paying for itself over and over here. All right, well, we got all of the end rows done. We got our short rows on the south side of this house, and this one long pass finished. And we've got 51 liters left, so we're definitely going to take the majority of a second load. I think it'll be enough, but it's going to be really, really close to 2 loads being able to finish this field. Well, we'll pull up here. We'll get reloaded again. So this will be our 3rd full load of the day so far. So yeah, we're going to go through probably 6 loads, 7 loads maybe, to get this all of our field sprayed here. So yeah, that's a lot of herbicide. I am very, very happy that I stocked up big time on herbicide back when we bought that sprayer trailer, because if I hadn't, I'd be honestly kind of a hurting unit right now. So we'll get this dropped down, and we'll get these last little short rows here finished, and then we can get back to running all of our long rows here. All right, well, I was way off on how much we were going to use here. We've got the field a little over half done. We've got all of our super long rows here done. Now we've got our last little bit on the new field for the short, running the short side of it. And yeah, we're already empty on our second load here, so we're now filling up our 3rd load on this field. So we're definitely going through a lot of herbicide, and that's something I'm going to have to make sure I budget in for next year, because we're going to go through all of the herbicide that I have already. So we're going to have to definitely be buying more for next year. So that's something I've got to make sure I keep budgeted in. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble next spring. So these aren't exactly short rows, but this is shorter than the rows that we were running here. So we got to finish running this section of the field, and it'll be done. And I'm guessing it's going to take the majority of this load here. Alright, we are finishing up our last pass, getting this field sprayed, and our big soybean field will be finished. And it's taken just a shade over 2.5 loads to get this field done. So I'm guessing it'll be about the same for our big corn field. So we'll shut it off right there. That is perfect. And we'll head over to our small corn field. I'll get started in it, and while I'm getting it sprayed, I'll also get our sprayer tender up here so that we can reload up here instead of driving all the way back to the home place. All right, this should be close to being enough to get this field done. I don't know if it'll quite finish it, but it'll be close. So we'll get this sprayed, get our sprayer tender up here, and continue spraying. Guessing we've got another 3-4 loads yet. Alright, we got our little corn field sprayed, so we are now ready to go ahead and get our big field sprayed here. And this is the last field that we need to spray. So I'm guessing it's going to take 2.5 loads like our soybean field did. And actually it might take a little more. I can't remember which one's actually bigger. But they're real close to being the exact same size, but they are slightly different. Alright, well, we got all of the end rows done, and then we also got in between and around all of the power poles done. So from here on out, it'll be nice, easy, smooth sailing through this field. And we'll load up with load number 2 and see how far this one gets us. I'm guessing we're going to have at least one more fill up after this, but no big deal if it's not. I would be all for saving some herbicide here and not using it if we don't have to. But we'll go ahead and get this load sprayed off and see how far this gets us. Alright, we're heading back to get our 3rd load of herbicide here, and we're not going to have a whole lot left. Only a couple of passes, so still probably going to be somewhere around a half a sprayer load, but it won't take a full one. Well, we are reloaded. We will head back to where we stopped and finish our last, I think it's two and a half passes or so, give or take. All right, we're finishing up this last pass here with the sprayer, and our spraying is officially done for the season. So that is absolutely fantastic. But while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and check on our goats. I don't think I've done that yet this month. So we'll jump out here. See, it looks like, yeah, we've got a couple thousand liters of goat milk we need to get put into our dairy here. So we'll run these over to the dairy quick. Looks like we've already gone through one bale of hay. So they're definitely eating good. And if we go into here, you can see we have brand new baby goats this month. We've got 25 0-month-olds, so we're back to being completely full in this goat barn. And everybody is happy, healthy, and doing absolutely fantastic. So that is wonderful to see. And if we run out here, we can see we've got all different sizes of goats out here. And that is absolutely wonderful. So we'll get all of our equipment, run back to the home place here, and get it all cleaned up, washed up, because, oh my goodness, that sprayer is a filthy disaster. So we'll get everything run back to the home place here, and that should be it for the month of April. So coming up in May is when we will start selling off our hogs. So May, June, and July is when we will be selling off hogs. And then also in June, we'll be selling off our soybeans. So we've got quite a bit of money coming in the next few months. But that is going to have to wait until the next episode. So if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.